All right, guys. So I'm gonna do I want to do a trade a replay for a trade that we took on February 26th. Today is February 27th, and the market is setting up as you guys are you guys can all see that yeah, it's not a fun time right now in the market. And let me see, where's the market clock? Yeah, so it's not really a fun time in the market right now. As you see, the market is has been dropping. It seems that like a worst week since financial crisis. So it's because of the coronavirus, the stock is gapping down, and these drops are significant. They were it was kind of expecting a pullback, but now we're really breaking through the 200 moving average, which is this line. I mean, this VWAP, we don't use VWAP on the daily chart, so I just remove that. So yeah, that's the 200 moving average that we have, and now we just broke below that. And 200 moving average is very, very important in a daily chart, especially for SPY and indexes, because usually they say below 200 moving average you enter into a bear market. It's just there is no mercy on that. So it's generally it's a very, very important level on a daily chart. And today something is very interesting happened on that. In the pre-market, I have that. So let me actually show that to you. I actually posted that on Twitter as well. I mean, during the market open, so we had this 304. When I tried to mark it, was 304 or 7. I marked it as a potential level for a SPY, as a potential support. And if you can just go, this was during this morning. So I marked it at 304.7 roughly. That was when the 200 moving average here. And as you see, at the market opens, this 304.7. Just hold it for about half an hour, and then cracked it, came back up, and then hold it again, and it actually went above the VWAP. I'll show it to you. So, and then they sold off and kind of around this level bounced back as well. So I wanted to show you these two levels and how do we find this, because it's very, very important. I mean, it's very simple, but it's very, very important. So in the second one, second level 302 is when you go back to the daily chart, come back in 2019 in August, September, and October, you see that we had a couple of big bounces from the daily chart. Let me see if I can. How do I go maximum? Fit, yeah. There was something. What is it? This one now? Yeah, I don't know. Is it this one? Yeah. So that's better. So yeah. So back in 2000. So back in 2019. So do you see these obvious levels that is bouncing again? Roughly 302.23. So I had to just take a screenshot on that, and this is a 302.23. So this is a very, very obvious level that we cracked over it, and then suddenly an engulfing happened, and so this level roughly around this area bounced back. So these two was very important. That's why I just took this a screenshot for people to see. That's the 3 on 200 moving average that is coming, and roughly around 304.7. Again, these are not down to the penny. It was just an area of support. There's also a strategy, a swing trading strategy, that whenever SPY hit the 200 moving average, just buy, and that's exactly what happened this bounce. But the market is generally weak. After a bounce, it came back. So let me exit that, and I'll show you the market. So again, if in the morning before we actually break that, I was roughly around this area. So roughly around this area, and if you want to go back more in time, around this area we had, again this is an area that roughly I would roughly around these peaks, the resistances that you see. As you see, these are resistances that, again, these are very, very rough. And as you see here, just on a 5-minute chart, you see, guys, on a 5-minute chart, that's exactly what happened after the market opened. The market closed line as well. So yeah, so as you see, it hold this level for a while. It came back up. This level, the second one was 302.45, and came back up. Hold this, bounce back, and again, it struggled here in the whole afternoon for 2 hours, and now eventually cracking. Now we're just entering into a bear market. So S&P 500 is down 3%. And yeah, who knows? I mean, if it closed below the 200 moving average, probably governments would do something. It's not really something that you want to be concerned. I mean, there is something called plunge protection that the government starts buying, quantitative easing, and all of these. So there's a lot of ways to stop the market dropping like that. But usually everywhere in the world, when the liquidity become an issue, they usually step in and push the price back. But this seems like the worst week since financial crisis. And one of the reasons for that is, if it was war, or if it was, trade deal or something that human involved, you can usually eventually come up with the fact that, okay, people can control it. But this virus is something that is out of control. I mean, that tiny thing can do whatever, and it really does slow down the economics. And now the hotels are not getting enough sales, airlines, cruises, and it does affect hugely the market. And as you see, a lot of money is actually going toward the stocks that are involved into the virus thing, like MRNA, although it's selling off today. There's a lot of stocks, or I think the other one was VIR. These are the companies who, they just move up huge, 72%. It's halted now. So the money flows through the industries that get a lot of contract and potential revenue. Anyway, regardless of that, I just wanted to show you these two. I posted also on my Twitter about I also posted about these levels that I think it was very, very interesting, and I think it was worth really for us to take a look at that. They're not very complicated, these levels. They're really not very complicated. I mean, a lot of people think that they should be very complicated, but we do it almost every day, that these levels really act as a potential support or resistance, and Norman Call also really find them. So again, this is a 200 moving average. We already broke that. We're behind that, and then this one is back in 2019, and then the recent levels, obviously. And again, these are roughly, if you find that around 302, still is good, 10-20 cents. That's why these levels are really not down to the penny. But regardless of that, I want to go to a dust replay. Just for those of you who don't know, we did a trade on 26. I did on SPCE, and I want to talk about that. So let me put come on. Let me just copy this one from here, put it here. So I did this trade on SPCE. So again, it was kind of a 1 minute opening range break up, and they plus a very, very, very powerful engulfing pattern that I want to talk about that what I saw, and then from 31 all the way up to, I think it did even to 34, and we want to watch it. So I took it as a 1 minute opening range break up, or also you can call this 1 minute engulfing crack, which I explained to you what it is. And also, it could be a shorter squeeze as well, which is definitely a shorter squeeze. So what I want to do is I want to actually replay SPC for, this is February 26th. But before that, I mean, the dust replay feature is something that, I'm sure a lot of people know about that now. We ask dust to add this streaming mode for us. And if you can't trade the market live and you want to practice, I mean, this is an option that you can have. So just go to dusttrader.com. And just click on the subscribe here for interactive brokers. If you have an interactive broker, it doesn't matter where you got it. You got it directly or you got it from Bearable Traders. Just go and click on the interactive brokers, and then there's an add-on for market replay, $15 per month. You can just add into that, and whatever package that you have, 100 or 150 or whatever that you have, but $15 more, they give you this replay feature. The level 2 is not ready, but hopefully it will be ready. But if you don't have a live account and no interactive brokers, and you want to have that for your just a simulator, you have two options. You can just go buy directly from DAS, buy it. I mean, the simulator that we have is $150 plus $15 add-on, so that would be $165. Or if you buy your simulator from Bearable Trader websites, it still will keep the price the same. I mean, it's $100 per month if you buy it in 3 package. And we really don't make any money out of that. I mean, even anything, we lose money on that because of the PayPal and processing fee. But yeah, so $100 per month if you buy for 3 days, that's from us. You don't have to buy it from us. You can just go buy directly from DAS and pay it monthly. And I think it's a great feature that I think would be very beneficial. So today we want to do that. We want to look into yesterday, the trade that I did. And let's check out to get out. So the market is just going down. About 20 minutes to the close. I think it's most likely you want to keep going down. So anyways, let's go to the replay. Again, the replay is you have to have the updated version, and then you go to the data stream mode. Click on that. This window pops up. And then you can go whatever that you want. So SPCE. So first you have to change the code, because now in the real time. And then you want to go into the replay mode. So you change to replay, press apply, and says, are you sure? Because then you don't get live feed. And say, And now you're in SPCE. Just click whatever symbol that you want. You can select the date. We're in 27th. Usually you have to wait 24 hours. So the 26 is available. You click on that and you press download. I already downloaded because I was testing it. But it says, do you want to re-download? So you sure? Yeah, why not? Maybe we get better data. And yeah, so that's it. So for I have the daily chart here, and so before running it, I have the daily chart. So I don't have, so all the way to 25th. I don't have the 26th, and there's a bug that does when if I keep it on 26, then you see the bar for 26, and then you have the live replay next to it. So it's like someone that knows the answer to the puzzle. So for that, I go to the data configuration and just go from whatever last year all the way to 25th. So I keep it in this range. So I don't see the next day. So I don't look much onto the daily chart. But this is what happened. Let me actually bring the trade ideas and see on the gappers on 26. Was it on the gappers or not? There is trade ideas. So on the gappers watch list, yeah. So the gappers watch list, you can actually go into so historical date. We want to go to 26, and by 9 a.m. in the morning, I want to see. Yeah, SPCE was gapping down here, so we already had that. And again, you can actually go and see the pre-market show that Norman Carlos did. So SPCE was already down 6%. The float is amazing, and the price range is really good, $32. So I put it in my watch list, SPCE, because again, it was in our watch list. And so the price by 9 o'clock in the morning was 32.15. So we are dealing around this area, so 32.15. So stuck at, the 25th was up but sold off, and now we're dealing around here, so around 34. That's the type of area that we want to trade in the pre-market. So now I already have that, so everything is kind of ready. So yeah, we can just go play. And the thing is, when you're playing it, it starts from 4 o'clock in the morning. So for a while, you don't see anything. So wait a minute, what's going on? So if you increase the speed a little bit, then it goes much faster. When you get near 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, then you can just go in the slower speed. So you actually get some meaningful data on that. So yeah, so just, as you see, by 7 o'clock, the more activity comes, there's some traders are coming, institutions are coming. And let's see how it goes. So yeah, by 8:15, you see the stock is down for 5.3%. Is on a short selling restriction. At this stage, stock is shortable. But I remember, no, wait. Yeah. So I'll just reduce it to the normal speed. We have 10 minutes to the open. And by that time, stock here says shortable. But I think it was not shortable on the day that we were trading. So I'm not sure if that one is actually accurate or not. But anyway, what you see is the stock has gapped down on a 5-minute chart. And it looks like it's holding through a level here. So if you go a little bit faster, just to get near the close. So let's go through 925, 926 something. Yeah, so 922 in the morning. So we're getting there. So stock sold off in the pre-market. You want to see what happens, so I'm just slowing it down, see what's going to happen. Just a little bit more, maybe 2 minutes before the open. Yeah, so I'm just putting it on the normal speed. So what I noticed here was, so I have the levels on the price marker. If I want to look at the daily chart, the yesterday low, so the yesterday low is here. Yesterday high is here, 2 days ago low is here, 2 days ago high here. And if I want to find any level, I would have probably want to put a level around here for the moving average. As we know, the 9 moving average is something that definitely something that you want to look into that. And 31.37, I just put it on here, and it seems that it's actually holding as a pre-market low as well. It's funny, I didn't notice that actually this 31.37, and again, these are areas that seems like a potential, pre-market low as well. Even if you didn't find this moving average here on a daily chart, you could still potentially, and you should have an area around 31.50 something around as the low of the pre-market. And these two happen to be so close to each other. When they're so close to each other, you can actually bring it next to each other, and now it means a very, very important level. So we have 1 minute to the open, and let's watch it and see what's going to happen. Let me see, a market open line is there, and we have market open as well. So let's see in the normal speed. And it's very important to watch it in the normal speed, because if you run it faster, and then becomes really a video game, because you need to see the time and sells, you need to see the transactions and everything. So it's very important to really watch it on a normal speed. So it's like as gap down. So what is my playbook? My playbook, assuming I have shares for short, I'm waiting for a minute or two, and then if you see the weakness, go short as close as possible to the VWAP, and then cover toward the level. So if I can get, for example, a short entry near the VWAP is around 32 right now. This one is actually not right. So if the VWAP is around 32, the blue line on my chart, then maybe I can get a recover first this, and then after we break this pre-market low or this moving average, then I get even more to the next level, which the next level is the 2 days ago low around 28.75 or something. So that could be my plan, and see what the market opens and see how it does. So let me see, for example, let's go with 1,000 share just for fun, because this is something that, again, the share sizes really goes into your risk profile, whatever that you want to do. I mean, we just put it 1,000 share here. So right at the market is open, so yeah, just suddenly huge drop came. So 500,000 shares right away come in. So opened really weak. If you I don't know if you noticed that or not. For a couple of seconds, there's nothing happened until it's like a poker game. Everyone is holding their hand, see who's have, and then suddenly this huge volume came in, and then it just started really weak. Again, you might see something in level 2 in this example. I don't remember what I saw in the level 2, but it looks really weak. So it looks potentially for a short. This is very interesting for a short. I usually wait for a 1 minute candlestick to close, and the problem here is sold off way too early. So I don't want to go short here now, because again, it is a 1 minute opening range breakdown, but I don't want to go short now. In this pullback, I tried to go short. Do you see the 31.63? I tried to press it, go to the short, but I didn't get filled. I think we didn't have shares for short by that time. So that would have been an amazing drop. So from 31.63, now I would have covered by now. So in that drop, again, you don't want to go short here because you're really, really extended. But in that 31.60 is like a rising devil. I did press to get short, but I just didn't get filled. I don't think we had enough, or maybe I just didn't get filled because of the short selling restriction. So, but I don't want to go short now. This is chasing, because the first candlestick was so big, and now we are way extended below all of these moving averages, and the VWAP is the blue line on my chart. So what's going to happen? So we're going to wait. Again, this is another short opportunity here, but I don't want to go short now because it's just coming back up. Oh, there you go. This is in a squeeze. So let me pause that. So you might ask yourself, why in the second or third pullback you didn't go short? The answer to that is, after first time dropped, it never cracked the low of the day. And this is a very important lesson, guys. And then for the first pullback, I tried to go short here, and after that, it's huge drops. That's a 50 cents drop. 1,000 share, that's $500, but I didn't get filled. Again, I don't know if because of the short selling restriction or because the IB didn't have shares by short. It came back and it tried to crack the 31.30, but it couldn't. Now around 55, 5 seconds left to this candlestick, try to come back again. This time I wouldn't go short. Why? Because, and this is important, because you already failed in cracking the low of the day here. And again, if there is anything in level 2, you can also use that. If you see a huge ask, maybe you should stay away from staying short. But what I noticed was that we really had trouble cracking this. We really had trouble cracking this. And again, trading in the first 5-10 minutes, you gotta be fast. The analysis of price action have to be and comes with experience. So so now it's coming back up. This is what we call an engulfing. Now we're making new highs. Now we're making a high of the day. So that is a place that I'm going to go long, because what we notice here is an actually engulfing crack. This is an engulfing crack. And again, engulfing crack is a big candlestick that is actually covering the other one. So this is a battle lost to shorts. So whoever was short down here is a squeeze now. I mean, if I was getting filled here and it came down and I wasn't covering, now I have to cover. So this candlestick, we call them an engulfing. Let me come a little bit closer. That means the size of this candle is, it opened here. Short sellers are pushing it down, and then even it opened lower. So it means that you still believe that it's going to be going down, and then suddenly bulls come and cover, and even closer higher. So the close of the white candlestick is even above the open of the red candlestick. So this is what we call, it can be in a 5 minute, or it can be in 1 minute, or it can be in a 15 minute. But usually size has to be very big. It has to be, when you go into the afternoon, there's a lot of there's a lot of engulfings, but the size of the candle is small. It's just choppiness. But now we are at the open, the most volatile time of the market. Now this is a signal for me, and I'll just jump into that. It's hard to catch them, but I just, I was just watching SPCE really closely, and I caught that. So now, what about the risk? So in this case, for me, the risk would be below VWAP or moving averages. And what about the reverse? So we are at 32. So I got to feel about, so let's say, imagine I'm here. The next target for me would be here. And then previous day close would be around here at 34.04. So there is a lot of potential for me on the upside. But this is something that I definitely get. A lot of traders who are short here and get trapped, they have a flip, especially pro traders. And DAS also has it. You can actually flip your position, not only cover, but also now load up on the opposite, because now everything has to cover. So let's continue that, and yeah, see what we have up there. I think the next level that we have is around 34 something. It doesn't show here. Yeah, that's a huge move. So I can just slowly 10%, you can just come down, and again, you're already way above your risk profile here. So that's easily the 2-to-1 that you're getting already. So that a good trader should definitely cover some here, or sell some here. So again, you get a really nice risk to reward. And again, now that I'm covering some, my stop loss, it would be at the break-even point. I'm not gonna go let the stock goes back into my break even. So if it comes back and drops below 32, you want to get the hell out of it. You don't want to be in there. So now it's already a really good risk to reward. So the profit was really good here in terms of risk to reward. And so now it's coming back here, and see what's going to happen. I think at this stage I got out of it. What did I do in that time? Again, yeah, so I mean, it's not exactly how I traded, but again, it's really testing these. Something that is not here in terms of level. I think the price marker. So the price marker, we don't have it here, but let me actually put that here. We do have actually this price market. So this is 33 level that from yesterday. Yeah, so from yesterday low, this level, actually we had that level. So for some reason this one is not here. So if you had the price marker, and if you don't know what the price marker is, you can look at our videos. The price shows the yesterday high and yesterday low. So we already had this level. So the risk to reward was actually very clear for us. That risk to reward was that. So yeah, so the risk to reward was already there. And where did we go? Yeah, so resume and see what's going to happen. It did came back, almost test the break-even point, and let's see what it does. So it's still within a 5 minute. I mean, now it could be a good candidate for a 5 minute opening range breakup. This could be a really good, still candlestick hasn't closed, but it would be a really great 5 minute opening range breakup as well. But the key point here is this engulfing. This is a shortest squeeze. Still, it could be a 1 minute opening range breakup. It could be a shortest squeeze. It could be, you can name it whatever you want. As I mentioned, these names are essentially the manifestation of, the price action, the winner and losers of the battle. Again, the volume is great, the liquidity is great, everything is amazing. Yeah, so now it's coming back up for the crack of 33. Yeah, so definitely you want to sell some more here. Definitely, I just get feel shitty. Yeah, I think that the previous take was at 34. So potentially, what you can do, I mean, if you can go back up, the previous take close is something that you can expect. We can actually add. I don't know if I can add the price marker here. We have the previous day close. Yeah, well, we have previous day close, I think, at around 34. So in this case, I'm looking for to get a, maybe even something more than that. So at 33.10 again, so you can, every time that is hitting something up, so you can just get out more on it. Yeah, so every time selling 10% of the position. And again, in the past, it was very expensive to trade like that. Just ticker, 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 ticker. How many tickers I had so far? So I took, I think I took 2,000 shares in this example. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, like beautiful. And again, it's a 5-minute candle. Now we are actually in the territory of 5-minute opening range breakup. So that's your 5 minutes, and you can just go up. But I don't like it in 5-minute opening range breakup because it's just way too extended from the VWAP. This is a tricky 5-minute candlestick, at least for me. I'd rather not to trade it like this because it's just a little bit too extended for from the VWAP. That's why sometimes getting a little bit earlier would have been really, really nice on that. So now what I want to do is I want to actually increase the speed and see what's going to happen. Actually, I'm curious to see if you go. So again, 3404 is a level. So I'm just putting it here. It should have been here. I don't know why it's not here. It's also a bug that I let them know about this, that the previous day close has to be in the replay chart. It used to be. I don't know why this one doesn't show up. So, but in a real time, you would have another level 34. So you have the red to green, and I myself curious if you can actually get to the red to green or not. So I mean, again, these highs are really good, and on a candle, this is obviously a very bullish pattern. You are not even pulling back to the 9 moving average. It's just everything is just being bought back up. Whoever is short here is really, really, really getting a squeeze, and you're really from your opening here and on a daily chart you're actually coming around here. So if I want to open just bring it up to 26, yeah, so we couldn't get to 34 yet. And again, if you are still in there, your stop loss is now at the break-even point. You don't want this to let pass you. Yeah, it seems that it wants to go back to 34. And again, 3403 is the previous day close. So you have this previous day close here, which is exactly here on this chart, and this chart, it's this one. So on a daily chart, you want to see if you can actually get there or not. So you already booked a very nice profit, and now this looks like a very nice ABCD pattern. And again, I'm sure Ayman is probably taking this right now. Even if it's in the replay, Ayman is a master of these ABCD patterns. So if this is an ABCD pattern, and I want to see what's going to happen. So I'm actually curious to see, is it going to go up? Oh, no, not that one, this one. So again, you are in a very good situation. You already have booked a profit, and now yeah, now it's losing the VWAP right now, so you want to get out of it, really. Yeah, so you want to get out of it. Now it's not the break-even point. You want to get out of it. So $1,200. And I took 4,000 shares. It's round trip, so that's 2,000 share. I mean, again, it's just an example. I mean, the number, share size, and P&L here is irrelevant. And yeah, so after that, it's just dropping. I'm actually wondering if I go faster, it comes back up. Yeah, it could be lost it. It's short. So again, this level is holding. So again, this 31.59 level is holding. It's both low of the pre-market, and also this this is the same level here. Oh, it just came back up, and yeah, it does. And this is a trade that I took. I actually took this a little bit differently from what I did here. So I actually jumped in a little bit earlier. So yeah. So for me, I jumped in a little bit earlier. So I saw, and before this candlestick actually closes, I jumped in, and then I scaled all the way up to 33. And I think I took a bigger size on that, 2,000 shares. So yeah, and again, I didn't let this go past my. I didn't let this pass go to my break-even point. Someone might ask, oh, it just come back. Yeah, but in the trade that I took, I really didn't take it. I got out the last piece here, didn't move back, but I got out most of my position. I was already out. I had a little bit of shares left, and then I just got out. If I had a bigger size, I might would have waited for that, because it really didn't hit my entry. I mean, my entry wasn't really in there. So anyway, so that was oh, the MRNA is also interesting. Yeah, this one is also interesting. This video is it's half an hour. I might actually record another one, because I don't want this to be. But MRNA was also really nice. That was another example that I just posted on Twitter as well. That the high of this MRNA 52-week high. See how amazingly it actually turned out to be a very nice resistance on that. Stuck on the sold off, consolidated the VWAP, and then it squeezed all the way up to this 29.75. And if you go back to the weekly chart, I put it weekly because I just couldn't put nice daily chart in there. Again, that's another Nice. So yeah, so that's it. I mean, that was I think that was a good discussion. I think these are more useful than recaps because you know, we can actually talk more and you know, be more patient and stuff. Anyways, so thank you so much, guys. And yeah, well, SPCE actually in this example did go back up. You know, in this specific example, let me actually reduce the share size. Yeah, so it did after you know, a bounce back from this level 3159. These levels are magic, which is the level is actually here. After this one, you know, it came back up and yeah, see, it actually went all the way up to 3403. Did the red to green test. So this is a red to green test. Yeah, but I wasn't in there. Anyways, that's not part of the really strategy that we want to teach. I mean, we're usually scalping momentum at the open. All right, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you all tomorrow morning in the chat. Hopefully, I didn't screw my recording.